have a Pelican 100 Trailblazer Kayak here that I've cut up and turned into a layout blind for duck hunting. We do a lot of walk-in hunting on public land, and a lot of places we have to walk a quarter mile before we even get to the water. So I really wanted something that was light and that would also offer me good concealment for wherever I wanted to hunt. I couldn't really find anything like that on the market, so I decided I would get a lightweight kayak and just cut it up and modify it to what I wanted to do. This has gone through quite a few revisions. This is my first kayak I bought. Originally I left it as a normal kayak and I just spray painted it and attached some weeds to it, but I didn't have the low profile-ness that I wanted later in the season. So about halfway through the season I modified it into a little bit more of a layout blind. I cut out some of it, put in a layout seat, and I had a couple doors that would fold down. And I would have a hinge section that would fold up to my waist, and then another hinge section that would lay up on my chest. And that worked okay for the first season, but the problem was it was kind of cramped in there, and it still wasn't as low profile as I wanted. I was still up a little bit. So last year I bought a Avery layout blind for 25 bucks. The frame was kind of beat up, but I was able to salvage the doors and the fabric for the doors off of it. And I kind of modified the frame, added some conduit, and was able to get something pretty decent. Last year, I had a flip down door at my feet still as well. This year, I just went ahead and cut out the whole front section of the kayak to give me some more room for my feet. And I added these two conduit support beams and some chicken wire to attach the netting. So I still need to get this brushed in, get ready for the next season. The one thing I don't like about this is that when I throw it open, any weeds up by my face will sometimes get in the water when I'm climbing in and out of it. And that gets kind of annoying when it's cold. So I've got a couple different designs that I might end up doing, but for the most part, I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. And yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like inside. All right, so to start off with, I have a nice piece of conduit bent here for my support for my rear hood, and that gives me a lot of access. I usually store my blind bag, and then I've got just a little extra headrest with that pillow there. And then really it's pretty simple. This is the original frame out of the Avery layout blind. I've got these. All I had to do was just cut these out a little bit so it slid further down. It didn't lock as far down as I originally wanted. And then the rest of it is all pretty much part of the Avery layout blind. The doors and everything are stayed the same. The only thing I really had to modify was this bottom part here. I needed something to attach the seat to, and so I just bent this. When you put weight back here, you know it's not going to slide back because of how that's bent there. You can see I've kind of pulled off a lot of the brush that I originally had up around my face just because it got annoying when it got all wet. But for the most part, it's pretty roomy. And since I cut that bottom portion out, there's plenty of room, yeah, for the feet and everything. And then when you go to shoot, as you sit up, the shoulders just kind of make it open the doors there. And there you go. So I wouldn't want to hunt out of one of these kayaks if I was in deep water or open water where you could have some waves. But usually we're able to find a small patch of weeds and we push the kayaks back into them. And I've never had any issues with stability on these. I have fallen in once when I was getting out of the kayak. My foot got hung up on the door and I face planted into the water. But for the most part, if you're careful getting in and out, there's really not any major concern with hunting out of these. I can just about put all my weight on one of these sides and won't tip it or anything. So if you're looking to hunt out of a kayak or do some duck hunting out of a kayak, I hope this might give you a couple ideas on what you want to do. We've got, I hunt with 3 other guys. We've got 2 different types of kayaks, and we're working on getting those fixed up for this upcoming duck season too. So hopefully in the near future I can share some videos of their designs and kind of the different approaches that everybody takes. But if you can find a cheap layout blind that you can rob parts off of, this is probably my preferred way to go out of all the different designs that I've done so far.